5:13 p.m. It's May 13th, 2021. Okay, Chieftain News here, guys. I wanted to break into this today and give you an update on what's going on, what I'm picking up on here, going on in the Middle East and in India, strangely enough. We'll take care of the India thing really quickly. Black fungus plague has broke out in India, and there is a bunch of things going on with that, and I'm fixing to get into it and see what I can find out why. It could be due to all the rains and flooding going on and things of this nature that could have caused that to happen. But I'll get back to you guys later on with that. But I heard that there's a black fungus plague. I understand that that stuff is due to moisture with certain specific materials like sheetrock paper and other things that causes that stuff to grow, and it can be hazardous to breathe or even deadly. Anyway, moving on to the Middle East, Hamas is using a new rocket, an Ayash 250 rockets, which weigh over 500 kilograms, I heard, and they hit all the way down southern Israel to the airport that's down there. The other one's in Tel Aviv, and they hit that one as well. So they want to shut down the airports with these new rockets. The Middle East is reporting that this has turned in lesson against Palestinians versus Israelis to an ethnic civil war, to an ethnic civil war of Jews versus Arabs now, which is an escalation, and now it's a serious crisis for the Middle East. Now is what we're seeing. A few rockets from Lebanon were launched out over the Mediterranean Sea and exploded, caught the eye of the Israeli military, and they reported that. So the middle range rockets that have a longer range rockets that are being used by Hamas in Gaza. They're hitting a bunch of cities in Israel. As of right now, what I've got to report is that they have hit how many cities? Let me see what I've got here. I had to wrote down the notes. At least 7 cities, and that's including Israel, Tel Aviv, and also Bethlehem. I'm sorry, it's 11. 11 cities, including Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, and Bethlehem, large cities there, medium cities around northern and south of Israel as well. So far, the death toll is on the Gaza side is 85 deaths, 400 plus injured. Israel death toll is at 7 and 31 plus injured. See, the Palestinians are basically rioting all over the streets in almost all the cities against the Jews in the streets in Israel, causing a problem, which is causing Netanyahu to do something that he really doesn't want to do, but he's planning for it, probably reluctant to pull the trigger on it yet, and that is massing 5,000 troops, calling in reservists, moving tanks to close to the Palestinian, the Gaza Israel border, and those tanks and those personnel, the 5,000, may be waiting for a word to go into a ground invasion, along with the Air Force backing them up to go in. They've taken out the top 10 commanders of Hamas. There are top 3 leaders, but the 10 commanders that are in Hamas have been taken out, and they'll replace those guys probably very quickly. So we'll see that happening as the replacement as the war escalates. If it does escalate, it'll be Iran pulling the trigger, telling the Hezbollah in Lebanon and in Syria, along with the other proxy little militant rebel forces that Iran has from all around Israel, will be throwing rockets into Israel, showing a serious escalation, and intervention from other countries is going to be entertained as far as meetings and things, and it already has. Turkey's president, just reiterating an earlier video, has already been talking to Russia, Iran, and Egypt, and other Islamic nations, and they are wanting to go in and protect Hamas and Gaza Strip from Israel. That would be a bad idea. That would be a serious escalation, because I don't think Israel would tolerate missiles flying over, and they would launch back regardless of who's in Gaza or in the area, which would cause a widening of what I consider it a war already, it will be widening the war to a bigger theater with bigger players such as Russia and Turkey and Iran, directly firing at Israel and Israel directly firing back at them, which would cause NATO to get involved as well, the United States. Anyway, that's the update that I have. The commentary, the weird posturing that I'm seeing. I hope everybody notices that it seems like it's almost not even mentioned about all the rockets that are indiscriminately fired off into Israel, into civilian areas, non-military targets as well as military targets, and do the damage that they do. But when Israel retaliates, it's like a big foul. It's almost saying let people shoot at you, and I just don't see Israel letting that happen, and I don't see them stopping. But it's just weird that the posturing that the news agencies have around the world, and nobody really seems to be looking down on Gaza, the Gaza folks, Hamas, as to what their actions are doing and what they've created and started, and firing rockets indiscriminately into Israel. Of course, we know the prophetic signature of this. This looks like the Magog invasion from Ezekiel 38 and 39. It also looks like some of the things that are going on with the food shortages that are coming here, days away from possible skyrocketing food prices here and shortage of food here in the United States. So keep yourself posted close by. Keep checking in on Chieftain News. I'll be throwing updates out daily as this stuff unfolds. And don't forget, I'll be doing a show here pretty soon on time dilation. Something that I'm hearing from the Intel crew that is telling me that these events are coming, as well as meteor showers, or meteor storms, should I say, that we'll be having meteor storms that will be impacting the Earth in moments of time. They'll be impacting the Earth, and they'll stop, turn on and off like a faucet. So anyway, not to mention that we have other things in our solar system that are being discussed now on the back channels and stuff in the Intel groups. And I am talking about another solar system. Anyway, more on that later. All right, for right now, that's it. 7 minutes in. I hope everybody has a good Thursday afternoon, nice evening. Spend time with your family. Turn them phones off. Get some time with your folks. Make some plans, if you haven't, to what's going to happen with these food shortages. There could be more layoffs. There could be another pandemic coming up in the fall as well. So make yourself some plans if you haven't already. Decide what you're going to do. That way you won't, when the moment comes, the time crunches, your decision's already made. It's the best way to go with it. To try to make decisions on the fly, usually this doesn't favor you well. All right, with that being said, we'll talk to you guys later. Take care, be safe, and stay well. Chieftain News out.